Do you know that last year, if you get rejected for your OPT or you're getting laid off during your H-1B visa, you could take up to a year to have your change of status application done. And if you wanted to do a change of status, you basically have to stay in the US the whole time, but you couldn't work and you couldn't continue any study, education, as well as employment. Here's the good news. USCIS recently announced in June this year, 2023, that you can now premium process on your F1, M, and J visa. Now let's talk about that. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. In this channel, I will share CPT, OPT, H-1B related international students' life situations and topics. So today I have an exciting topic for you. So the USCIS have announced in June that you can now premium process on the change of status applications to F1, J, and M visa. So how this works? So you can get faster results normally within 30 days of periods. So before, you will need at least 3 to 6 months to have your change of status application done. Many people even had their application completed for more than 1 year. But now you don't have to wait that long. You can basically pay for $1,750 to cut the line and have your result as soon as a month. The application process will still be the same. You have to go to the USCIS change of status page, download the I-539 form. You can fill out the form and submit additional documents, and then you have the option to request for premium processing for a single charge. And for H-1B job seekers, that is a great news. So if you previously got laid off during your H-1B period, you can now legitimately consider change of status to F1 students while you're looking for a job and pursuing your education. But premium processing to change to F1 visa is not the only way for everybody. So you might also consider changing to a B visa. And now I'm first gonna break down how the process is gonna be like for change of status to B visa. As mentioned, if you're considering to change to a B visitor visa, you will still need the I-539 application form. This form works universally for every change of status application, as well as some additional documentations, and which one being the explanation letter to explain that why are you changing from one non-immigrant visa to the B1 non-immigrant visa types. For example, you might previously be a H-1B holder that was working in the US temporarily, and now you wanted to do a change of status to a B1 visa, and you have to explain in your letter your intention and your legal right reason why you wanted to do the change of status to B1 application. And on top of that, additional materials, you will also need $370 for filling the I-539 form, for submitting to change of status form. You also would need $85 for your fingerprint. A lot of people will consider changing to a B visa pending to give them more legal stay time in the US to look for a new job. And this is not any sort of legal advice, but I do want to break that down for you of the advantages and also the downside of changing to B visa pending while remaining in the US. Changing from a previous non-immigrant visa, for example, an H-1B visa, to a B visa, visitor visa, needs to go through the I-539 application. And once you submitted that application, you are allowed to stay in the US until your application decision is enclosed. So even though your H-1B visa might be passing grace period, or you don't have a legal F1 status remaining anymore, you could still stay in the US once you have submitted the change of status application till the final result have come out. That means that some people, when they're under H-1B grace period, they couldn't have enough time to find a new job to do a H-1B transfer. They will choose to change the status to B1 visa, and then they will use the additional 2 to 3 months before the result have come out to look for a new job. And when they got the new job, they secure the new offer, they will start a new I-129 application to file for a new H-1B visa. Notice that this is not a H-1B transfer. This is a brand new H-1B visa, but at the same time, you don't have to go through the H-1B lottery again because you previously won the lottery and used H-1B. There's also uncertainties among this application. First of all, you don't know the certain timeline when are you going to secure that offer, meaning that your job hunting stage could be as short as a couple weeks to as long as several months. So you don't want to see that your change of status application has been successful, you are converted to B1 visa, but you still haven't find your job yet. So you have to went through change of status from B visa to another visa type all over again. The second thing to watch out for is that to be successful, but then also some people will get their change of status to B visa as short as 1 month. So maybe you're in the middle of job hunting and all of a sudden you change to B visa. You couldn't work technically under B visa. So once you secure the offer, you have to go through change of status back to some visa type that allows you to work before you can legally start to working again. Now let's talk about change of status to F1 visa. This is also a common type, might not be as common as change of status to B visa in a previous year, but definitely after the premium processing update from USCIS, a lot of more people are considering changing to F1 visa. And here's the reason. You need to submit your I-539 form of change of status application and also your explanation letter of why you needed to become a student in the US, a full-time student. So maybe you're previously a visitor or a H-1B employee in the US, and now you wanted to do a further application to benefit yourself of your career progression and stuff like that. You have to explain in the letter why you wanted to become a student. And this application also charges the same amount of $350 for I-539, as well as the $85 for your fingerprints. But this also have a additional charge of $350 for your CVIS if you wanted to become a full-time student in the US. The purpose of a student visa is to let you continue full-time education in the US. The visa will have a duration from 2 years or to typically around 5 years. And within that time frame, you can stay in the US without leaving. You don't have any types of restriction as long as your class program as well as your OPT is still active. And also you have benefits. For example, you have other benefits like tax exceptions and also scholarship opportunities that you can get from being a student in the US. Your responsibility will mainly have to be a full-time student, meaning that you have to go to school in person on and off sometimes. You couldn't just do an online program throughout the whole time, but you also have the advantages of working under CPT and OPT. So this is the advantages that B1 visa don't have. Since B1, B2 visitor visa couldn't earn any legal income or work legally in the US. So we talked about B visa, B pending, and also F1 visa, which all of them have their certain benefits if you wanted to have an urgent change of status application and wanted to prolong your legal status and work status in the US itself. So make sure that B1, B2 visa, if you do a change of status, you couldn't do premium processing, meaning that you have to wait 3 to 6 months, sometimes a year, before you can start, working again or start to do another change of status. If you wanted to know more about CPT and OPT and other advantages that F1 student can get, feel free to watch these 2 videos here that I have posted previously. And if you have any further questions, feel free to send me a message or an email. I'm happy to assist you, and until then, I'll see you in my next video.